Hello and welcome back to the Northern Lights Rewind. And we are talking about Big Brother season 7, Camp Northern Lights, and we are very late. We're like halfway through the season, but guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because we're going to catch you all up on what the fuck has been going on, our thoughts, our opinions. Lene is going to do what Lene does. Styles is going to do his damn thing. And we even have Cesar here, an extra special treat. So guess what? Welcome back to the fucking Northern Lights Rewind. I'm gonna add the real sound in.
You're so
Yeah.
extra.
This is so okay.
It's amazing.
Welcome to the podcast, Cesar.
Yeah. First time.
So we are at the final 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the final 18. The final 18. We're at the final 18. We've gone through a massacre round. We've gone through some double evictions. And just tonight, Katie won HOH. So I've gotten ratings from many of you ranking the players between 1 and 10 on how good they're playing their game. And I have some scores, and we're going to go in the order from least great to most great. So
Can I guess the least greatest?
with the least best. We don't want to say what's on here. We're positive.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of recap as we go. We'll talk about their game, where they're at, and why they might have the score that they have. So in last place, 18th place, is Alejandro with a score
I'm not shocked.
3 out of 10. So you guys take it away. Styles, can you give us a little recap on Alejandro's game first?
So Cesar and I agree that at the beginning, he was doing really well. Jason had won that first HOH, was doing well, influenced the nominations. And I do think that he actually has potential to do damage. I do. He's like a convincing, relatively charming guy, but he just cannot keep his mouth closed with everything. Just the energy, the voice memos, the good morning, big dog, those things. He's struggling socially big time. A lot of people are saying his name. However, sometimes when people say your name a lot, it's not always the worst thing in the world, because already off the bat, it doesn't look like he's going on the block with a Katie HOH. And that's hilarious because Katie has been talking about, oh, Alejandro is not trustworthy. And now we're seeing something else. So like, just keep skating by. And then eventually these other big players go after each other. He could slip by. But right now, I do think that he is, for me, a 2, just because he's so untrusted. And that's not a great place to be at the final 18 in the game.
Yeah. Cesar, what is your perception of Alejandro's game so far?
Yeah, so I did not rank him at 2. I gave him a little bit, mine was a little bit higher. Not much, but a little bit higher. Like Styles said, I do think at the beginning he was doing great. I thought he was solid. I was like, oh shit, here we go. But then yeah, he kind of just lost it. He talks too much. Everybody knows that he's messy. I did not give him a 2. I gave him a 4. Not a 2, a 4, but only because I do see that some people see value in him. So that might help him out. For example, like you have him and Jason, who are clearly a duo, right?
Showmans, yeah.
Or like he says, showmans, where Jason is not playing nearly as messy as Alejandro, but guess what? They want Jason Gunn, not Alejandro right now. So I do think something is working right, but I do know that if some people win HOH, there are a few people that they do win HOH, there's nothing Alejandro can do. They will put him on.
Yeah.
That's why he's a 4 for me.
Lene, what about you?
Ooh. Alex is. So here's the thing about Alex, and I'm noticing kind of a trend because I just got out of Bonnaroo with Alex. The first cycle, it was like he was kind of like he was here, like he was very likable. Everybody was like, "Oh, Alex is okay, like it's not a big deal." And then he went an HOH, and his whole world just crashes. Like he just burns his entire game. He doesn't listen to anybody. He's very cocky. He just literally, it's like gasoline, and he's just like, here's a match, and then he just blows everything up for himself. And it just, if he would just stop talking and just chill for a little bit, I think he might be okay. And he has kind of the last like day after him and like Venus went at it, he's kind of shut up a little bit, which is okay. But I will be very shocked if he makes it past the next, I don't know, cycle or two. But he's also really good at comps and he'll beast out. And I mean, he got to third in Bonnaroo, but that was because he gave up 16 comps and he was no longer a threat. So had he not have done that though, he probably would have went out a lot sooner.
Agree.
Can someone recap the fight between him and Venus?
Yeah, he woke up and decided to go off on Venus.
Yeah, he chose violence for
That's it. That is the recap right there.
Yeah.
He woke up and just said,
Yeah.
I'm going
It
in
was-
on Venus.
Yeah.
He, I guess he was just like upset. He's telling everybody that Haley was his showmance, and I think that's to kind of like throw off his love for Jason, which is fine, whatever. So he basically just went to Venus and was just like, I'm mad that you stayed. And it just escalated from there. And then he kind of told her that she's furniture and that she's not doing shit in the game. And it was just, and Venus,
good.
like, we all know Venus. Venus is not having that. So she's like, oh, you better sit the fuck down. So it was intense for a minute there. Also, this was at like what 7:30 in the
No,
morning.
it was in the morning. Like I said, he woke
Early.
up and chose violence. Well, she's
He literally opened his eyes and he was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. He had a bad dream. Venus was in a dream and Venus did some fucked up shit. It must what happened.
See, I just wasn't sure because the night before, I know that he was in boys' school with Jason and
Mhm.
someone else. I don't know who. It's one of those alliances. There's so many alliances. I don't even know who's with who. Well, I know who's with who. I just want to run out. But and I know that they were talking and they were pre-planning something for this upcoming week. So I was in the back of my head, I'm like, is this something they planned? What happened here? What did I miss? Because I had to get up early, so I didn't listen to it all. So I wasn't sure, but I guess no, it wasn't pre-planned. He just woke up on those violence. That's it.
Literally though.
So the next two spots are a tie, and how we're gonna break ties is we'll talk about everyone that's tied and then rank them afterwards. So
Okay.
next up,
Okay.
both with a 4 out of 10 average, is Kristen and Jason. So let's talk about Kristen first. How is she doing? Why is she getting such low scores? Just Styles, start us off.
All right, so off the bat, her top allies are Jason. I believe it was Jason, and I know she said Katie for a fact. And then we go over to Katie's confessional, and we see that Katie doesn't really trust Kristen. Kristen's not giving any game information. Kristen is like super shady in the eyes of other people right now,
Yeah.
and isn't giving enough game information. And that doesn't mean that she's like not with people. She just doesn't have a lot of information to give, and she's not the type of player to give a lot of information. It's usually just
Yeah.
how's your day kind of talk and things like that. It doesn't help that she's kind of done things that haven't made sense to other people, like, you know, targeting her own team, voting her own team out. That can build a reputation, and it's hard to get rid of that kind of reputation in the game. And I do think she's a loyal player. I just don't think people see her that way, and that's where the biggest problem comes in. And she's just generally untrusted, and that's not a good position to be in my opinion. She hasn't done anything too crazy, but and she could skate by because she is like likable and super charming and stuff. She
Yeah.
does skate by a lot in a lot of games. She makes it pretty far, even sometimes when she's not supposed to. Because you look at Kristen and she's just kind of just an innocent, nice person, you know. But in this game, it is a little bit different. She is getting a little bit of a different rap this season, I think, and I think that's where she's gonna fault a little bit here.
How did her HOH go?
Who did she take out?
Kane.
Yeah, oh man, I don't know about that. That was a number on her side. I felt like
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, for sure.
Wait, I don't want to interrupt Styles because Styles is talking. So go ahead, Styles.
no, you're good. And she also trusts Alex Girl a lot, which I think she's good to do. But yeah, she's putting a lot of faith into Jason and Alex and stuff like that, and not necessarily the people that are in power, which is like Daly, Joanna, Mason, etc. And people are starting to be like, "What are you doing? Why did you put Kane on the block?" And that's kind of an issue.
Cesar, thoughts?
Right.
on Kristen?
Styles said that he thinks she can skate by. No, she's not gonna skate by. I think she's pissing off a lot of people. I'm not really sure what Kristen's doing. I've played with Kristen before. She is loyal. She's a good player. I do not know what she's doing. I do think she's playing a scared game. All right. She said it in her DR that she's only voting Venus out because she's scared of Michael. That is not a way to play this game.
Yeah, especially when Michael is going home.
Right. So she's playing a scared game. She nominated Kane, who was someone that was never going to come for her, especially after Kane. Well, not never. Okay. When I say, by the way, let me say something. When I say never, I don't mean never, but I'm saying anytime soon. Right. For example, whenever they were both in the same team, what team was it? One of those teams or whatever. They were the only two that voted against the team. They were all going against them too.
Yeah.
Obviously, that had to gain them some trust. Okay, it's Kane, it's me and you. Like, that's how I would do it. Like, if Styles and I are playing and we're against everybody, okay. Why the hell would I nominate Styles? Why would I get rid of Styles when we already have that, like, that connection where people were coming after us because we fucked them over? So why are we doing that? And then, you know, she's got this thing with Daly and them, but then she didn't vote with them. And they know this. And then she's putting too much, I think she's putting too much, what is it? She's
Put it to a stock. You go.
yeah, into the whole Jason, Alex,
Yeah.
Alejandro,
Because she went
Alex,
against them
whatever.
already too.
Where I do believe those people, maybe Jace, I don't know, they're not going to be loyal to her. Where she has to, she's going to go.
Mm-hmm. And she also went against them on that vote that she voted against her team, and they've been sus of her since.
Exactly.
Then.
So
and now she's working with them, so it's like it's tough because both sides don't trust.
I don't think she's gonna escape. I do think she's in trouble soon. She's gonna be gone soon.
Renee, more thoughts on Kristen?
So I think Kristen really fucked herself not voting with her team, and lying about it. That was a very big sticking point. And even though she's made up with some of those team members told a lot of other people in the game that she did that and that they were upset with it. And I think a lot of other people, and like I said, maybe not her teammates now, but a lot of other people are holding on to that information. So now they kind of see her as not very trustworthy now because she betrayed her team and then lied about it and then tried to cover it up. And so I think that even though she's okay with them, like people are still kind of thinking about it in the back of their minds. And then putting up Kane was definitely not like, that was not the move. I don't think that did her any justice at all. So I think that she's got an uphill battle right now. I think if she comes out of her shell a little bit, because I know she keeps saying she's very shy, she doesn't like to do the VCs. If she comes out of her shell a little bit, starts talking more, I think she might be able to dig out of it.
She's really charming.
True. She is. I'm telling you, she's a good player.
Yeah.
She is good socially. She's not really being that social in this game, which hurts her too. I forgot to mention that part.
Well, and I think too, when they said that they wanted to go on that VC and they wanted to talk about that vote, and she's in her DR the whole time, like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And was like, you know, stalling. And Aaron and Michael and Jason are like, let's just talk about it. Like, what's the big deal? And, you know, she's getting very anxious about it. And I think that didn't help. I think if she just would have went in there head on, explained how it was, I think that they wouldn't have cared nearly as much because she explained herself. Instead, she kind of like, I think they thought that she wasn't going to get on VC with them at all and was just kind of trying to blow them off. And I don't think that helped.
Yeah. She didn't pick one side, I feel like. that was her downfall. She goes against her team and now is working with her team. So, like, both sides.
Yeah. I'm not sure what she's doing. I don't even think she knows what she's doing.
I think she's just trying to get by right now and come out of her shell a little bit.
But obviously, you know, it's early in the game. Anybody can move. Anybody can escape, to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't know if
I agree. She's in some short-term danger, but if she could skate by and a couple people make a couple, like if this move that Katie might make goes down, I mean, it could blow just a lot of things up, and so many dynamics could change. But as of right now, I do agree that she has some short-term danger for sure.
Yeah, but I gave her a 4, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, same here.
See what Ryan and I gave her. I don't remember. I'm glad I sent it to you, Derek.
I was pretty unforgiving with some of my ratings, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're pretty damn low, Styles.
Yeah. 4.
I'm just thinking about who can win. Like there's a couple people in the
Mhm.
game that I don't see like them getting to the end and a jury voting for them. You know what I mean? At this
Mhm.
point, but
But
it's still so
I
early.
also think you have to remember, okay, I don't mean to drag this about Kristen, but and it's not just about Kristen, this is about just people in general. I do think there are two sides right now. They're still working together because everybody's making moves, right? So they're not showing cards just yet, but there are two sides. So Kristen has a good chance at making it to the end, whatever, if her side starts winning.
Yeah.
But if it's this side, the one that's been winning this whole time, I don't see her surviving
Yeah.
much longer.
So next up, we have Jason, who is also given a 4. One of the wildest players I've ever seen. Styles, talk about Jason.
I think Jason could be the best player on this season. I think they're so likable. They're just like one of the easiest people to talk to from what I'm seeing in like the DMs. But they just made a few errors along the way when they've won power, and that's where the problems come in. And he's also aligned with some people that are not exactly in good standing with the house. He is aligned with some important players like Daly and stuff like that trust him and see him as an asset. And I do think that he's a person that could be a big enough player in the game that gets to the end and could tell a jury a good story and a good narrative to win a vote. But the only problem is, I think he's just a huge threat that so many people are talking about from really early on, and that's not good at all. And I think short term it's not looking too good, and I don't think long term it's looking good either. Like if I had to look at Kristen and Jason, I think that Kristen has a better chance of going further than Jason because Jason is just such a humongous threat, in my opinion. People see him as so
He's on the
charismatic, can
first
win
HOH,
challenges. That's what I'm
right?
saying. He's winning challenges. He's charismatic. His alliances are getting exposed, and he's working. He's in a pair with Alejandro, who is just not in good standing with the house. So, like I feel like the most powerful side right now is not the Jason, Alejandro, etc. side. It's more of the Daly, Joanna, Mason side, and he's not on the right side of the numbers. And on his side, he is like maybe the biggest threat, possibly, and that's not good. It's not, especially this early.
So, unless Lene wants to go. Do you want to go, Lene?
Oh no, bestie, you're dying.
No. Okay, so here's the thing about Alejandro. Okay, yes, he's won 2 HOHs, which is great. It's awesome. He hasn't. He's, and I know he's gonna be watching this. I love you, Jason, but both your HOHs kind of flopped. All right. You took out people that really didn't. They weren't. I mean, they weren't even there. First of all,
Furniture.
which is fine. Which is fine. It's okay to do that, right? At the beginning of the game, that is 100% correct. It's fine. But he also nominated like 2 different people. Like he just kept adding targets. Like why? If you're gonna go weak, you might as well. Even though he didn't go weak, he went against Joanna. All right, and Joanna's on the big side, on the controlling side right now.
The majority, yeah.
The majority right now. So that was not good. Jason is also with Alejandro, and like I just said earlier, they're not really looking at Alejandro. They're looking at him. They want to take him out because he's the big threat. Alejandro is just a shield. I think the thing about Jason is, and he put it in his DRs, he's not playing scared, and he's not playing scared. He's not. But the people that he's focusing on, they're just not the people that he should focus on. Because those people aren't really like, oh my God, we're anti-Alejandro. No. All right? Or not Alejandro, sorry. Jason. Also, he's putting way too much faith because Styles said, oh, well, you know, he has some good allies. He's got Daly. Daly will throw him out in a heartbeat.
I also did forget to include that Emily and Brandon trust him a lot, and I do think that those could be really important allies. Because
right, but we'll talk about Emily after this because that doesn't help him one bit. I'll tell you why after this.
Yes.
But yeah,
so at least it's a vote.
He's trusting Jason. Is it though? We'll talk about that. But Derek, anyhow, so Jason is trusting Daly from previous games where Daly has said it plenty of times in his DR. Jason can go. He's not in Jason. Jason is not part of his inner circle in this game. So that's going to be his downfall. I do not think Jason's going to make it much farther. unless he keeps him, because everybody wants him out. There's not one person who doesn't want him out.
Yeah.
Lene,
He's very
thoughts on
expendable, too.
Jason?
Listen,
I think that the showman thing that him and Alex have going on, I think that Alex has made a big enough fuss publicly that they're like, oh, you could be my shield. And then it's like, here, Jason, meet wolves. We're going to throw you to them. And I think that that's going to be his downfall, which I will say, I was looking at one of the one-on-ones earlier today, this morning maybe, and it was Jason and Alex. And Alex told him something that somebody told him, and Jason responded, I don't know why the fuck you listen to them. And I was like, ooh, this is getting real spicy. So I just wonder if Alex is gonna be so misted by Jason that he just kind of like lets him continue to tell him what to do, or if Alex is gonna get to a point where he's just like, fuck this man, I'm gonna do my own shit. But verdict's still out, I think. But I think Jason right now might be one of the biggest targets,
100%.
even over Alex, for sure.
100%. I think
Mhm.
he needs to focus more. He needs to hit where he needs to hit, especially if he's not scared of playing, because he's not. He really isn't. He nominated Joanna. That's a big move. Okay, knowing that, so he just chose the wrong people.
Yeah.
And he's trusting Daly. That's the problem here with Jason. And I hope Jason like does something, because I do like to see him play. He is a good player. He's social. He can get it done, but he's also very emotional. Like if you watch him on his one-on-ones, it comes off as, dude, why are you yelling at me? Don't be yelling at me because you're gonna lose me. He does that.
He does.
Yeah.
So but I hope he gets out of it, but I just don't see it. I don't see the light. I don't see the light.
Yeah. Especially because Alejandro is seen as like a lesser threat. You know what I mean? The only reason I have Jason higher than Alejandro is because I just think Alejandro doesn't have, like, it's gonna be hard for him to win a jury vote. Just the way, like, how he is and how he's perceived. You know.
I gave him a 5. He was higher than Alejandro for me too, but only because I feel like he could. He's only targeted because he's with Alejandro. That's the duel right there. They gotta split them up. Everybody's like, they gotta split them up. It's not because they don't like Jason. So if Alejandro goes, it could help Jason too. So like, Jason's not completely dead. I just don't see, like, it's gonna be hard to climb out of this one because he is targeted by everybody because of that.
So I'm gonna ask all three of you, Styles first. Between Kristen and Jason, who's playing the better game right now?
I think Kristen has the lower threat level, and I think that's really important. So I do think that Kristen is by a small margin.
If I'm going to be completely honest, this is watched by everybody, right? So I think overall, Jason has more agency. Kristen is barely there. But I do think in terms of targets or whatever, she's not as big of a target as he is. So, red level, I think she's playing a better game, but that's because she's not there.
Okay. Lene?
Yeah, I agree. I think that if you put both of them on the block together, I think Kristen stays by probably a landslide, quite honestly.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, she just, I don't know.
I do think that Jason's the more dangerous strategist, though.
Yeah, and he's got his hands in a lot of cookie jars, and I think that if they were put up together, I think people would start comparing more notes, and he'd be really screwed quickly.
So Jason below Kristen, and above them we have Cody and another person. But let's talk about Cody first. So Styles, start us off with Cody.
I think Cody, I mean, I see where people are coming from when it comes to Cody. What rating did I give Cody? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to upgrade to Zoom Pro so our fucking meeting doesn't get canceled in 7 minutes and 50 seconds. But give me one second.
Can start. My sister's done, so I can start the next one, and I have unlimited.
All right, cool. So Cody, I gave. Who the fuck is Cody? Cody is at a 4, in a similar range as the others. I just think that his perception in the house is not good, and perception is reality. A lot of people, see him as an emotional player, quote unquote. There's a few particular people that are kind of the anchor to his game right now, and it's really, really hurting him. But I do think that he has like a real charisma of him that could get by a little bit. You don't think so?
No, I do, and that's what hurts.
Yeah,
It is awesome.
yeah.
Okay, Woody is a great social player. I always keep saying when I watched him play the first time, his downfall was aligning with this girl right here.
Yeah.
He is such a social player. The problem is in this game, well, honestly, like I don't even see it that bad, but people like the Jason, I don't know what Cody's doing either. All right, because Jason and Alejandro can't stand him. He can't stand him, but he's over there making alliances with them, which I'm so confused about that. All right. One big mistake that or not mistake, but one big thing that's happening to him right now is Aaron. Aaron wants him gone immediately. And she's letting it known. Having her as an enemy is not good for him.
Yeah.
I think he overplayed his counselor thing too. He was pushing too hard where he should have just, stayed back, watch, not be so reactive. He pissed a lot of people off then.
Yeah. I think he's in a few people see him as in a duo with Rissa, which I don't think is good because I do think that they would send him home over Rissa. And that's a problem.
I think Cody right now is in a place where he could be going home any minute.
Yeah. I don't think he's good with Katie. So this could be a really important week for him to rebuild some bridges and to regain some agency. But I just don't see how like Katie's HOH reign could help his position that much. He's gonna have to do something pretty big or have the right conversation or somebody make a mistake for him to better his position, I think.
The problem that we're having with this season is, okay, and we'll talk more about this person later on, is Dave. We're having a problem with Daly. He's making my decision boring for me. I'll tell you all later about that when we talk about Daly. All right. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Cody. Cody, I think overplayed it. I think he can still get out of it. I think he's a great social player, but he needs to keep his mouth shut. He's talking too much. His name is going around big time.
Yeah, not good. He did get a very good result out of Katie. Katie really likes him, so I think that's fucking huge for him. I
think he's safe. Well, Katie did say in her DR. Wait, did Katie say in
her? Get the receipt, Cesar. Go get the receipt.
Wait, I think Katie said in her DR, or was she talking about someone else? I think she said Cody. Oh no, never mind. She was talking about Aaron. Go ahead. Never mind.
Yeah, I feel like I know Cody and Katie trust each other a good deal, so I do think that he's safe for sure. But it depends on whatever Katie does with her HOH, I think will influence his game a lot. Because if she takes a big shot, he might be able to slip back a little bit. You know what I mean?
Lene, thoughts on Cody?
Well, I love Cody. I don't think that that's a shock to anybody. He's one of the best allies I've ever had.
Please, let's run this thing. Move on.
He needs to shut up.
Yeah.
He needs to stop talking.
Yeah.
I think that he thinks that he can go to certain people, like Aaron, for example, and he thinks that he can just spill like, this person needs to go, this person needs to go, this person needs to go. And I think he's just talking to the wrong dang people, and it's getting him in trouble. When he was a counselor, I think he needed to sit back a little bit more, but instead he was like, this is how you should vote. This is what you should do. This is why. And he was very vocal when he should have just sat back and kind of like gave advice and not played the game essentially for them.
I do feel for him though, because I think I didn't know you were gonna.
No,
I thought you were done. My bad.
I think he can pull himself out of it though. Like I don't think that it's like super detrimental right now, but if Aaron gets an HOH, his ass is grass.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because I do think that he has a reason to trust Aaron because they're fellow counselors and just whatever the case. But he cannot trust Aaron. However, Aaron is going on the block this week. And that could change.
That's the thing, though.
We'll see.
That's my thing about the whole Cody. What did Cody ever do to Aaron? Here's the thing. The problem is, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The problem is Cody's trusting Jason, and Jason is dragging him all over the house too.
Mhm.
So it's Jason has to go for Cody to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking
Aaron
to the
too,
wrong
and
people.
Aaron is close to Jason. Well, we're not talking about Aaron, but regardless, Aaron is close to Jason, so she's taking all that in too.
Mhm.
All right, so they got to go in order for. But I don't even understand why Aaron is doing that to Cody and Cody. They should have just aligned, but that's none of my business. Go ahead.
I think I could be wrong here, but I think something happened.
What happened? I don't remember.
I think one of them said something. I think maybe Cody said something about Aaron to like the wrong person, and I think it got
Jason.
back to her. Was it Jason?
And Alejandro, and it went back to her.
And I think now they're just very much like so stuck on it that they're not. I think that bridge is just burnt, and if any of those counselors want to get anywhere, I think they need each other, and instead they're just fighting over which one of them
Makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense, but I digress.
Okay. Next person that has 4.33 to be exact, is Venus. So I played with Venus a lot, and I'm shocked to see her this low. What is going on with Venus? Cesar, why don't you start us off?
I played with Venus a few times. So I disagree with Lene on this one. I think so I give her a 6. All right. I give her a 6. I think she's never been a social player. Yeah, she's not the most liked in the house. She doesn't have that many allies or whatever, but if you think about it, she got Kane to not nominate her. If you get her on VC, she's good. All right, and she's been kind of, yeah, she got nominated by Daly, but then Daly didn't want her out. She talked to Daly, and that went pretty good. He believed everything. I don't even know where Venus is at right now. I don't know who she's with. She just lost Michael. I don't think she's in trouble though, and I do think her social game is kind of good this season for her. For her, she does not have a social game. She doesn't. She's good at comms. She's good at puzzles or whatever. But like I know who she is. Her social game is never strong. So yeah, I don't know. I think I give her a 6. I don't think she's in danger right now.
Lene.
I think I just need more. I think that she's very busy. I think she has a lot going on, like real life. So she hasn't been able to be here, I think, as much as she wants. And I think she's even said that, like, I'm not really talking to a lot of people. I'm really sorry. I have a lot going on, like, which is, it's fine. But like, I've also seen her play, and I know that she can friggin' slay. And if there was going to be a comp that she could have slayed, it was puzzles yesterday, but then her internet fucked her over.
I was just gonna say that she would,
yeah,
production.
that was terrible. I felt bad for her.
She would have won that one.
Yeah,
the internet screwed her over.
big time.
But either way, she didn't really need it. So that's the thing about her. I think she's doing the Kristen thing, and I do think that she doesn't have as many enemies as Kristen.
I think she's getting lucky on who she's being nominated with, though. I think that's a big portion of it, because at some point she could go up against somebody that's way more liked, and she'll go.
But also, she is one of those people that people consider easy noms, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting into this team situation, this side situation. Is she really are they just really gonna waste it on her? I mean, I'm not saying it's a waste, because I do think they should be scared of her. Okay, because she is good at comms, but right now she's looking like she's alone, so why not grab her?
See, I agree with that, but as somebody that watched and listened to her VCs and saw her campaign, she just told 16 other people the exact same speech. I'm a great ally. I could be with you. We can work together. And they're going to compare notes. You can't be with everybody.
They're going to compare notes 100%. I think, yeah, I don't know. I give her, yeah, go ahead. That's just my opinion on it.
I just want more from her, I think. I need to see like the Venus that everybody says is.
But what is the Venus that everybody says? The Venus that I know, she's not the strongest social player. She's never been the strongest social player, ever, in any game. No, there is nothing wrong with it. She can say, she'll tell you too. That was her thing with Daily first. Oh, I suck at the social aspect of it. Everybody knows this. She is loyal as fuck. Period. And guess what? She's loyal. She can win comps. And that's how she makes it to the end, because people know that she's loyal. They just have to give her that chance. And the only way that they're gonna be able to get that from her is by getting her on VC.
Style, give us some final thoughts on Venus.
Yeah, I had her really low, but actually I do agree with Cesar. So she can go from a 3 to a 4. I do agree with what you're saying about the sides thing. I actually think you're definitely on point with that. I just think that she's still, even no matter what, like just always an easy. There's so many people that are playing the middle and that are not willing to commit one way or the other. And that is the perfect person to win HOH. Venus to go up, and then Venus to go up against like Joanna or something like that. And then Joanna stays with, in a 15-3 vote or whatever, because I don't feel like anyone really values Venus. I do think that Venus she has to survive a few more rounds. She can slip by
100%.
if so. But the only problem is the reason she's at a 3 as well for me is because it's going to be so hard for her to win. Like, she doesn't have really any agency, I feel like, in the game. And so, like, maybe there's some short-term danger. There maybe is some long-term safety, but there isn't necessarily any long-term equity, and that's where my concern comes in. Unless she sits next to, like, a very, very the perfect person. Because I do think that this season, the theme is social strategy. I don't think it's necessarily comps or loyalty. I think it's going to be who is going to be the best snake out of the pit,
Let me just say one last thing. I know, Derek, I know what you said earlier. Let me just say one last thing, okay? I do not think, okay, first of all, I do not think she's a couch or furniture, all right, at all. She's not, and I do not think she's playing the middle. I think she's stuck right now in the middle because nobody's giving her, she's not getting on VCs or whatever. But I do think she knows who she wants to work with, 100%. I know that she's got Jensen, she's got, she was with Michael, whatever. She just doesn't have anybody else. So she's not like, oh my God, I'm just going to play the middle and just, if people think I'm in the middle, I mean, I think she's in the middle, but not by choice, if that makes any sense. She's not like, oh my God, I'm just going to stay here and, pretend like I'm with these people, pretend with that. Nah.
Yeah.
People don't know where she's at. And she doesn't suck. That's it.
Yeah.
So between Cody and Venus, Styles, who's playing the better game?
Venus playing the better game, I think.
I think so
less of a threat, better at challenges.
Lene?
I think that's important.
I think if they're on the block, I think it really depends on who can give the better speech. And I think right now, I think people would see Cody as more of a shield. So I think she potentially could go out over him.
I think she cannot be on the block right now because I think Lene is correct. I think she goes if she's on the block right now. All right. Cody is actually, now that Lene said it, Cody is becoming one of those people that could be a shield.
Mm-hmm.
So
him and Alex about to be besties.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's pretty even, but Venus still above Cody for right now.
I think Venus actually stays in a few, as long as she's up against someone that isn't from Daily, Joanna, Mason, etc. I think she stays. I think she goes to Jason, Ali freaking Hondra, all those people. I think that Venus stays because she's just so non-threatening. And
if she keeps it up with Daily, she keeps talking to Daily, she's golden.
Yeah, oh yeah. Right now, yeah.
If she keeps it up with Daily, she's golden.
Yeah.
So in 13th place, we have Alex with a 4.67 score out of 10. So what is going on with Alex's game? Lene, why don't you start us off this time?
Okay, first of all, for the record, Alex, when you watch this back, Ryan and I gave you a 7. I don't know what these boys are talking about. I think she is playing so good. I think she's making connections. I think that nobody's really looking at her. At least from my point of view, I don't read everything. I'm not even supposed to be in this podcast, but I think she's doing okay. She's not like a super big comp threat, but she's also being like social enough that she's, I think, fine right now.
Cesar?
For the record, Alex, Nothing against you. I disagree with Lene. Okay, I think you are playing kind of like a Kristen game. My issue, not my issue, my thing is with her is people do connect her with Alejandro, Jason, and them. They do connect her. Everybody's talking about that. She is not like, oh my god, nobody's mentioning her. She has been mentioned by
See, and
Mark.
I don't get to watch all of these things.
So that's why what did I give her? We don't need to talk about what I gave her, but
Oh,
no,
I think we
I
do.
gave her a 4 because I do think that if they want to take someone from that side out, she's gonna be up there. Whether she's gonna be whether it's a renom or not, because she's part of that group. That's if she could, and she doesn't talk much either, and that's the issue right there. She doesn't.
Really?
She doesn't.
Nah,
Oh my god, her chats are always lit up for me, and I just like mark as red.
she's just on the top. I feel like that's why. But
Yeah.
It's because that's because they're sending her messages. Good morning or whatever.
See, I don't really read the one-on-ones. I just jump in on the VCs because that's what I can do at work, and I just listen.
But
I
I
hear
do
ya.
like her. I do like her, and I think she's a sweetheart. I just wish she could like talk more because I know that she can do it. I just know that she is connected to them, and people have said her name with them. So if they're in trouble, she's in trouble.
Styles, thoughts on Alex?
Yeah, she's really low for me, and it's because I just don't know what her plans are. I don't really know what she wants to do in the game. I mean, I have an understanding of who maybe she wants to work with. It's like Cesar said, I could see a bigger player like a Mason, like a Mark, like these connected players that maybe have an outside relationship with your Jasons and your Aarons and your, etc. Just going after Alex because she's a little less active. I think the best way for her to go forward in the game is for her alliance to get absolutely decimated, and then the other people to look at each other, and because she's just kind of non-threatening right now. But that's the problem. I really just don't have a good grasp on her direction in the game. I don't know if she has a good grasp on her direction in the game. But yeah, for me, she's a 3 because I just don't see someone who's so inactive socially as compared to the other people. In some other orgs, she's active, but this is a crazy ass game. But these people are nuts. They're on the phone all day. And so when you're not active, it's going to be tough for you to get to the end and win. It's going to be tough for you to survive being on the block. You're just going to be an easy nominee for people at some point, and eventually those people go home.
I
So-
don't think I've seen her on VC.
I haven't. I have not seen her on VC. I have not. I don't know if she's had a VC. I think she's like got the traits. I think she's very likable.
Yo,
but
she
she-
is. She is
sure.
super likable. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If she would talk more, she'd be golden. She's not.
That's what's
that
keeping
like-
her afloat is that she's so likable. I feel like if she goes on the block, it could actually help her because it could wake her up a little bit, maybe.
Trust and believe. I by no means. I don't think she's going out anytime. I don't think she's going out right now. She can get out of this. I just want her to just talk. Talk some
So-
more.
Up next, we have another tie, starting off with Brandy with a solid 5 out of 10. So we're in like average territory. So what about Brandy makes her game so average? Styles, you start.
I just think that's the game that she's playing right now. I don't think she's really done anything super impressive. She is a potential nominee this week, and I think that's not a good position because she's not. I think if she goes up against Jason, I could see people being like, yo, we should keep Jason around as a shield. Or if she goes up against Aaron, she's gone. Because Aaron is good with like Daly and good with those people. She's in a similar boat to Alex G or whatever you guys are calling it. Because I just don't know her
Calling
direction in the game. Really at all. I do think she's really likable, but I just don't know I don't know enough about her strategic prowess in the game to really give her a higher rating than I gave her a 4. It's because I do think that she's decent socially, but I do think that she's like, I think her ranking of, 12, 13, whatever it is, I do think it is warranted because there are players being much more active than her right now. And that's like the biggest thing for me.
Lene?
I'm looking to see what Ryan and I gave Brandy a 5. Yeah, I think she's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Like Style said, like she very much could possibly go up this week, but I think that if she does, I don't think anybody's really like looking in her direction, like, oh, they're a threat, they have to go. But I also feel like everybody's looking for shields right now, so she potentially could go depending on who she's sitting beside because of that reason. So I feel like a lot of people that are kind of just chilling are the people that are going because they are not doing anything to prove that they're not gonna, you know, fight for themselves or whatever. Like, I don't think that she would make a lot of waves. I think she's just kind of chilling. I don't know.
I think her like 100% she's going home is Jason wins power veto and she goes up next to Aaron. I think she's gone if that happens. And I think there's a good chance that happens because Jason's one of the best competitors that will actually be going hard for the veto because there's people that are throwing the competitions right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it's Jason and her, if she okay, so you just read that she's definitely she's gonna get nominated. If she's
He's
nominated,
in there, yeah.
if she's nominated, so I gave Brandy a 6. First of all, Brandy, I don't know what they're talking about. I think you're doing a good job. I
Please,
played
I gave her a 5.
Brandy. I gave her a 6.
I gave her a 4, yeah.
I did.
Oh, I was saying I gave her a 6. I've played with her before. I have never seen her be this social before either. I think where the problem that I'm having with her is she's not expanding her connections. She's just sticking with the same people. She made her connections the first week or whatever, and then that's it. But she hasn't made any waves. Like, she's good. She's in a good spot. But if she's next to Jason or Aaron, she's going home because she does not have the agency with the other people.
Yeah.
She will stay unless she will stay if it's against people that aren't with her. But Jason and Aaron are both with her. So she's going home if she's with them. That's my opinion. That's what
I have some concern for her this week because I do think her agency's low. I think she just got to get through a few weeks and she could have a shot. But she does need to, like, there's a lot of people that I could say that about though. So we'll see.
True.
Maybe there's an on switch that she presses or she wins a big HOH and changes a lot of things. But that's why she's at a 4. She's just slightly below average. You know what I mean? By a very small margin. I think she's like a 4.7.
I gave her a 6 only because I don't think, too bad that it was Katie the one that won. Well, I don't think she had that many people that would say, okay, we're going to nominate Brandy.
Yeah.
Katie's pretty much like the only one. And she won. So that sucks for Brandy. But that's why I gave her 6. She had that one chance that, Katie got it. Sorry.
That's how it goes sometimes.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So our other player at 5 out of 10 is Joanna. So Styles, start us off on Joanna.
The people that are gonna go for Joanna, they're gonna put like if she goes up against like any of her allies, I think she's just toast. I think that she's in a duo with Mason. Daly has the correct read on that, and that's potentially a problem. I do think that her having a public enemy with Jason is more beneficial than she realizes, but once Jason goes, it's like people are going to see her maybe as talking with everybody. She's already been on the block a couple of times. It's easy to just say, hey, let's put Joanna up again. It's a big player that people have already put on the block. It's less blood for us. I do think within her alliance, she's not in a bad position, but I do think that she goes home against a lot of people on her side, if you will. You know what I mean? I think she goes home against Marcus. She goes home against Mason. Goes home against Daly. She goes home against I think she goes home against Katie. She goes home against a lot of people. And I feel like a few people that would put her up, like Alejandro, Jason, a couple, people that are with them. She's in the danger zone a little bit, and I do think her threat level is really high. But all it takes is one blunder from like a Mason, from a Daly. It takes just one mistake, and then she could, maybe swap spots with them. But I do think she's in not the best position right now, and especially not the best position long term.
Lene?
I think that this like Joanna Jason thing is kind of being taken by everybody else, and they're making it, I think, a little bit bigger than what it needs to be right now. And I think that they're putting all eyes on those two to make them bigger targets in the game. I low-key would love to see them on the block together because, from a production standpoint,
That'd be amazing.
fun as crap to watch. I think Joanna actually might. I think she's for sure okay this cycle. I don't know if you guys were just watching, but they just made a DKMJ voice chat, which is Daily, Katie, Mason, and Joanna. They just left this voice chat. They were in it for like 45 minutes. So
Oh Jesus.
I think that group of people is okay, which I'm not surprised about because Katie was kind of already. But Joanna, I think, needs to focus less on Jason if she wants to get anywhere in this game. I think she's too busy trying to point fingers at him. People are going to get sick of it really quick and feel like she's just pushing her agenda on them. And I think she's chill on it, just like a lot actually. So
real quick, you changed my opinion completely. If Jason goes home this week, I think Joanna would be in a really good position because Jason is just going around. Joanna gotta go. Joanna's gotta go. That presence will be out of the game. So I do think that Jason does have to go for a game, and then she could really build some stock.
Yeah.
I think Joanna is playing. I gave her a 6. Same thing as. Well, no, not same thing as Brandy at all. I gave her a 6 because I think she's being too outspoken. I think from what I do see, people have mentioned her name. All right, they do know her. We have someone like Emily, who is Daily's number 1, wanting Joanna out. So Joanna has that backing, her alliance, or the Daily, Mason, or whatever. Yeah, they do back her up right now or whatever. But if Emily's already saying she wants him out or whatever, as soon as they turn, like, she doesn't have the other side backing her up at all. She just has that big group going on right now for her.
Yeah.
And that's already kind of not so much. They're already like thinking about her. She's gonna go. Daily has said it multiple times. I know that Mason and Joanna are close.
Well,
I don't mind it right now. You know what that means? I don't mind it right now. They can go at any time. So
Joanna goes out of those two, I think.
Oh, Joanna goes against anybody from her allies.
Yeah, especially Mason.
So I think she should probably talk to the other side a little more and stop telling Mason and Daily everything.
Oh my God, yes.
That's her downfall. She needs to stop telling them everything.
So between Brandy, I'm reading Destiny's name. Between Brandy and Joanna, do you still think Joanna is playing a better game than Brandy?
I think so. She's just a bigger threat.
Yeah, she's insulated very well with the power players, but she is the bigger threat.
Yes.
I think she has more people on her side than Brandy does in a vote.
And that's been proven because she stayed a couple times. You know what I mean?
So our next
nominated herself. Sorry, Derek. She nominated.
Oh yeah. And then I don't know about that move. I don't know about that. See, I am really turned off by anybody doing that. But
had I been Jensen, I would have. But then again,
yeah. He didn't really know because he's been kind of floating along the first couple weeks until he got nominated. But yeah, man, that was a big and I'm gonna stick with.
Well, that was a good one. I mean, she did pull that.
She did, but I don't like that. Because if she's gonna do that, she's gonna do something like that again, and it's not gonna go good for her. Yeah,
100%. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I have high hopes for her too. Like,
she's good. She's a good player.
She's a good player. She's a snaky one, but she's good.
Derek is like you guys.
Okay, so up next we have Brandon, who is at 5.67, tied with another player, but we'll start with Brandon. Give me the dip on Brandon, Lene.
I'm gonna be very honest. I don't think I know a whole lot about Brandon.
Okay, well, Styles, give us the tea.
All right, so you have the two sides, and the reason the two sides exist is because of Brandon leaking the Daily, etc. group that are going after Jason. The two sides now exist because of Brandon. Brandon obviously has connection with both sides, so there's options for Brandon. I do think that people know that Brandon is doing what he's doing, and that's where the problem comes in. And apparently, I read something about Daly's about to go blow Brandon's game up, and that's not good because you don't want Daily after you right now. Brandon's good socially. He comes off as a non-threat, but he is really messy. I played him before. He leaks everything, and it always gets back to him. And that ain't gonna bode well for you, man. Eventually, everyone's talking about Alejandro, Jason, yada yada yada. Eventually, it's gonna be Brandon if you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? You could be the next Cody.
You know what I said about how Venus, she's in the middle, but it's not like she wants to be in the middle. It's just,
Brandon.
Brandon is in the middle because he wants to be in the middle. And
Yeah.
like Style said, he's the one that's pretty much making that whole side go against each other. He's
Yeah.
telling people, then like he's telling different stories to every single one of them.
Yeah.
And they do know. That's the sad part about it, or the funny, or I don't know, the cool part. They know he's doing that. All right, but nobody's nominating him. So he's doing something right. I mean, I gave him a 5 just because I'm scared of him, not because he's playing a horrible game. No, I don't think he's in trouble right now. But I mean, he could, but they could, if they want an easy nom because it's being messy, because it's being messy, he's an easy nom because it's being messy. But if he makes it a few more rounds or whatever, he's another one that they can pull in. Okay, you're with us, but not really that they'll think they're pulling him in. No, because who knows where he's at? I don't even know who he's going to.
I
This
have
is
a
the game that he
question.
plays. Go ahead.
So when he leaked that big alliance, what's the strategy about telling everybody it's a 7-person and forgetting about Daily?
I think Daly's overthinking this too much. I think he forgot to just mention Daly's name. I don't think he's protecting Daly one bit.
Yeah. Brandon is the type of player to do that. I played with Brandon. He literally played the same exact game in my game, and he forgot things, and that's
I
just
think he
Brandon.
just forgot that name. Trust me,
Yeah.
when sometimes, when I play and I have lines, I forget who's all in it.
Yeah.
It's fair.
So I think he just forgot. I mean, we can ask them the DR one of these. Well, no, because then he knows that they're talking about it. So we
Well,
can.
yeah, especially because if we go and we're like, "Hey, why'd you leave out?"
Yeah,
Daily
exactly. So
in
we
the
can't.
alliance? He's gonna be like,
Can't be doing
"Fuck,
that.
you're right."
No, I think he just forgot.
So the other player that is at 5.67 is Jensen, one of our counselors, now a player. What's going on with Jensen? Cesar, you start.
I think I gave Jensen. Okay, so here's the deal. Jensen, my rankings, they're good. Okay, now they're good. I gave Jensen, where am I? Okay, down there. I gave him a 7. All right. Jensen is doing an amazing job. He's the only one that's going to be able to put up a fight against Daly. Daly should have nominated him, and Daly should have gotten him out. Because Jensen's social game is impeccable when it comes to his social game. He wasn't there the first 2 weeks. We all know this. He was quiet. Look at him. He's been there for 2 days. He almost won that HOH last night. It was between him and Daly.
Yep.
And now nobody's mentioning him. He's everybody. I'm telling you, Daly should have gotten rid of him last night.
That could be his biggest regret. I agree. Jensen's dangerous. The only reason he's not higher for me is because of just the inactivity at the beginning. But I could tell that
he was quiet. And I remember
Yeah.
in the production chat, I said, just wait. I just hope he comes to life. I just hope he comes to life because he was ready to go. And now look at him. He talks to everybody. Everybody's mentioning him on the DR. Oh my God, he can talk. He's talking. And that's what he does. He's not a calm beast. It's his social game that gets him far. And he gets far in every single game he plays. Until they fuck him over at the end.
Unless it's All Stars, Northern Lights.
I think that's the problem is he might be a big threat.
But that was like for his first boot. Because, that was a different. Yeah. Go ahead, Lene.
No, I think I agree. I think that he hasn't been here. I think in the last 2 days, he's I think he acknowledged that and was just like, fuck, I should probably be more present. And since then, he's kind of taken off. But my fear is that everybody's going to be like, why is he just all of a sudden, chiming in? And then people are going to start looking at him a little weird. So I think he needs to do it. He needs to lay down hard now. And then I think he needs to kind of pull back a little bit, because if he goes at the rate that he's going right now, I think it's going to blow up in his face a little bit.
Can I say something real quick before we move on? Sorry. I agree with you, Lene, but the problem is, or not the problem, the thing is, that's only going to happen if he gets nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's just say Styles wins or anybody wins, they're not going to nominate him, so they're not going to talk about him like that. Once he's nominated, is when they're going to be like, oh, everybody wants to keep Jensen. Everybody, so that's when he's going to get whatever. But right now, Katie, he's been quiet. And by he's been talking to Katie, so Katie's not going to nominate him. Who's going to nominate him other than, even Emily said it on his day. Oh, I'm talking to him now. We're good. Everybody's saying they're good with him now. So they're not going to mention his name right now. It's too early for that, in my opinion. Watch him get nominated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think he's going to get caught unless he gets nominated.
So would you guys say that Jensen is playing a better game right now than Brandon?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he has more potential than Brandon. I just think Jensen's gonna be way too big of a threat, and they're gonna take him out and fuck him over. Like
100%.
Cesar said, he always gets fucked over. I think it's gonna happen this season too. I think it's almost guaranteed to happen. It's just too big of a personality, too good. And they're gonna take him out at some point.
The only thing is he does have Daly against him, so that's gonna fuck him. I mean, yeah, that's his only his obstacle right now is Daly.
I would love to see the two of them come together. I think
I
that
would too, but
Or-
Daly
That ain't happening.
is not about it.
Yeah,
But I feel
neither of
like-
them are about it.
Well, and that's the thing. They had that first VC yesterday,
Yeah,
and then they both got off,
awkward.
and they both immediately went to their DRs, and they were like, "We know what this is." Like they
That was
very
bad.
much knew that they were just BSing each other. But I think that if they just kind of put their egos aside a little bit and come together, ooh, that could be
That
crazy.
shit was so awkward.
it is. It
like-
is.
But I agree. I think those two should come together and then take it to
Mhm.
let's go.
They,
It's fun.
there's no way that's gonna happen.
It's
There's
not
no.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Unfortunately, just
I
the
think-
egos are a little bit. They're just too big of players for that to happen.
And I think Daly has the upper hand right now.
Yeah.
Because he was gone. So Daly has more allies than Jensen. Well, true allies, anyways.
My
Then-
fear for Jensen though is he in any alliances? Because I don't.
yeah, he's in quite a few actually.
Is he?
Yeah, he is
Because
in.
my
He is
fear
in a
is that
bunch.
if you get the wrong person to be HOH, then they're trying to like keep both sides or whatever, so they could be like, "Oh, well, Jensen's not in this alliance. He's an easy person to throw up." But if
He's good.
I honestly can't keep track of the 700 alliances that we
Yep.
have. So
I don't think the alliances matter at all. And that's why I think it's just two sides, and these people.
These alliances are all-
matter.
These alliances
None of
are all
them matter.
bullshit.
There's
All these
not one
alliances.
alliance that matters. I think maybe in the game right now at all. And besides maybe like Marcus and Brandon like being a chill town or whatever. That's like the only like alliance that could potentially be loyal to each other. Like that is literally it. Like everyone hates or distrusts somebody in their alliance. It's crazy.
I'm just
None
gonna
matter.
archive them and start over.
You might as well. None of them even mean a thing. They don't. None of them.
They
Nothing.
literally we're allowed like what 500 channels in a freaking Discord server, and I've had to start deleting chats and voice chats because I don't have room for
It's
'em.
crazy. You're gonna have to make a fucking one-on-one server number 2. It's crazy.
I know, literally though, like a whole like alliance server at this
That
point.
actually might be the low-key play, but it might be a little too
Yeah.
late because that's a lot of work. So I don't know about that one. But
So Jensen's at 9, and we have a 3-way tie for 8. The first person we're going to talk about is Destiny. So Cesar, start us off on Destiny.
Destiny. So what did I give Destiny? Hold on. I gave Destiny a 7. I think she's playing the same as Brandy, only better. Okay. She's laying low. She's not keep making many moves or whatever. Alejandro is not playing smart by telling everybody, oh, they know each other, Everybody knows that already. That they do know each other or whatever. And instead of them wanting Destiny out, they want to keep her close. Because they know that she'll go after Alejandro at some point. Because so it's working on her favor. Alejandro wanted to work on his favor, it's not working, it's working on her favor. And she's not really making any enemies. She's not like she ain't in trouble. She's good.
Yeah. I think that Alex probably comes from a community that's like, oh, you guys have met in real life? Threat. Whereas in the BBTG world, it's like we all have hung out together at this point,
Yep.
except Styles. He doesn't hang out with me. But it's a jab at whatever. Anyway, but I think that he thought that he was gonna go and tell everybody this, and they were gonna be like, "Oh my God, like he told us, and he's more loyal, and Destiny's got to go," and like none of these people give a single fuck. So
Nah, not at
I
all.
think she's fine for
I
now.
think
I gave her a 5 because she's not. I mean, she's just chilling. She's just there, hanging out.
Yeah, I gave her. I didn't want to give her a 5 because I already gave some low people a 5. I'm like, so I have to like, I don't know, like I have to just give her an extra point. But yeah, sorry, go ahead. I don't know.
I gave Destiny a 7. I think that I think the season is gonna go one of two ways. I think that either you're gonna watch Daily and whoever they end up being close with go to the end, or eventually, like maybe that alliance runs the game for a while, and then eventually from the inside out it crumbles. And I think that Destiny is primed to be in a really good position if that happens, because Destiny, no one's talking about Destiny. Destiny is a very capable player that I've seen play before. I've seen win a lot of challenges, and in Big Brother competitions are everything once you get to the end game. And I do think she has a clear path to at least get to like the top 10. From my knowledge, nobody is really saying Destiny's name at all.
No,
I don't think
exactly.
she's not a threat. And I could she's one of the leading candidates for me to win, just because I know that she's capable of doing
Yeah.
very, very well. I think she's doing very, very well now. I don't think she has any short-term problems. She doesn't really have many long-term issues. She's not seen as someone that's like controlling things or too social. I think she's right in the sweet spot that you need to be in for either direction this season goes to potentially do well.
I agree, and I don't think nobody's talking to her not because she's not talking. She is social.
Yeah.
Everybody knows she's
Yeah,
playing.
she is.
She's there. She's good with everybody.
She's Destiny, yeah, likable and just
Likable.
non-threatening. I think she's killing it. I could probably
think
argue
she's
that she's
killing
an
it too.
8, or I just wouldn't be able to give her a 9 because the agency isn't necessarily the highest, but
Right. I don't want to give any 9 just yet.
I gave a cut.
But well, we don't need to say names just yet. But
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll talk.
So the second person at this 6.33 is Aaron, another counselor, now turned camper. So
Aaron.
Lene, give us the tea on Miss Aaron.
Aaron, I think, is kind of, for me, she's kind of overplaying, I think, right now. I think she thinks she's really, really good with Daily, and then Daily goes to his DR and he was like, "What is Miss Girl talking about?" Like, she is just, I think
Yeah.
her downfall is that she's pushing Alejandro so hard down people's throats right now. And I think they're
Cody.
all kind of
And Cody too.
Yeah, and Cody too. And
For
I think
no reason.
literally, and I think in her mind she's trying to just make it as like they're a threat, they need to go. But I think that she's like pointing a lot of fingers at herself now, because I think a lot of people are looking at her like, okay, well, if you want to do it so bad, you do it. Why are you forcing this on everybody else? So it'll be, I think the next couple cycles are going to be really crucial to how she does the rest of the time that she's here.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she's getting a little bit too, she's focusing too much on little things that it's also turning people off about her.
Yeah.
Daily even said, like you said, Daily said it in his DR.
Yeah.
This girl keeps talking about Cody. Like, okay, got it. Like, there's like, I think she's pushing it, and people are kind of just like, they're gonna get tired of it.
Yeah.
And
what are we doing? Yeah.
she needs to kind of like relax a little bit.
Yeah. I think she is just the epitome. Oh my God, my camera. The epitome of trusting the wrong people every single time.
See that too.
That's where her downfall is.
I'm
She's
like-
gonna alienate herself because the people that she trusts don't really trust her. She might even go home this week, and that's about that. And why does my camera keep doing that? She got a 4. She was good. She was doing well. She was pretty connected, not a threat, and she's just driving herself, I feel like, very slowly into danger.
She's doing what she was telling us that Cody was doing the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Playing too much, and oh my God, he's too reactive. She's being too reactive against them.
Yeah.
Like,
I think she's almost doing like a Jason Joanna thing, whereas they're so fixated on each other. And she's so fixated on the two and getting them out. So she just needs, I think if she takes a step backwards for a minute and just kind of lets things play out, I think she'll be okay.
If she survives this week.
Yeah, if she's, yeah,
If she survives this week.
she can
Because I
go
do
off for
think
sure.
her, if she's against Jason,
Mm.
Daly's gonna
Yeah.
want her to stay, and that's a big.
I
issue.
think she stays against Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. But if she's against who's the other one? Destiny?
It was
You know,
Kristen and Brandy are like
Against
MC6.
Christian, she stays. Okay,
Yeah.
so she has a high chance of staying.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
do.
if she stays against Jason because
Okay.
Alex and Jason have their little showmance, and if Alex is pushing super hard for Jason to stay, everybody's gonna say fuck that. And then I think Jason
What?
leaves in that scenario because why are they gonna give Alex what Alex wants?
I'm
That's
confused.
what I'm saying. So Aaron stays. That's what I'm saying. So Aaron stays.
But I don't know. I don't
what-
know. If everybody if Alex goes to people and says, "Hey, I really want Jason to be here," do they listen or do they not? I
They
feel like
won't.
they could go either
Nah.
way.
The more Alejandro pushes one way, the less likely
less
that thing is
to
gonna
do it.
happen right now. I think.
But I
Unfortunately.
don't know.
They're not gonna
Maybe.
do it,
And
Alejandro. They're just gonna
he
screw
could try to do the reverse psychology, be like, I want Aaron to stay.
She could. He's that type of player to
He
do
could do
weird
that. The
things
only
like
problem
I
is
mean, I just watched him do it twice, so
that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does have like that
the
card.
the only problem is he believes in his head that nobody knows that him and Jason are when it's all over the house that him and Jason are close.
are they? Because I think he's played it pretty well that Haley was his showmance, and I'm like,
No, he played that today. All right.
Yeah, he tried. And,
Before
they,
that,
they see Jason. And
Go,
him.
go read people's one or DR's one that scroll out, you'll see.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's them two.
thank God.
Yeah, not even that.
Pretty
Just they
well
just
not
know
to
that they're
blow up.
working together. Maybe not even necessarily a duo, but just the fact that they're
Not a
working
duo,
together.
but that they're close.
People do
But-
see it. A couple of people have mentioned that hey, this could possibly be a thing, but just that they're working together is like an 100%. It's a known fact.
Does Jason know it though? Like,
No.
is he aware that this is like a showmance?
No, I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't. He has no clue.
It was so funny because earlier Alex was like messaging him and he was like, babe this and babe that, and then Jason is just like nonchalantly returning like nothing, and I'm like, this
Flirting
is so
with-
awkward to work.
It's funny.
Yeah,
It's
that's how it
funny.
goes sometimes.
You got him flirting with Jason, and there's Jason flirting with.
Flirting with
Daly.
Daly.
So Alejandro is just, this is a one-sided showmance.
Yeah.
100%. It's an
Yeah.
ordinance. It's not a showmance. Ordinance.
Yeah.
Right?
Ordinance. Yes.
So our last person with a 6.33 is Risa. So Styles, why don't you start off?
She is. I know she's like a big threat, and she's narrowly escaped the block a few times. But my goodness gracious, is this one of the most charismatic people I've ever seen on a voice call in my entire life? Even over text, she's just so goddamn likable. And she got really unlucky at the beginning with people that were winning, just like Ryan was after her for like no
come
reason.
on.
Yeah, she got very, very unlucky. Her threat level is huge. And like people are aware of the fact that she is amazing. She just is. And that's a huge long-term problem. However, she has positioned herself a little bit better. I don't really see a lot of people saying Risa is a problem for me right now. I think Rissa's in a really good spot. I think Rissa is very much capable of getting to the end of this game. And just because she's so likable and she's clearly able to handle adversity very well, which is very important. And she is somebody that if she gets to the final two, like that girl is going to deliver the speech of a lifetime. And I just can't like take that out of, especially when she's not the biggest threat right now. She could get there and she like could beat anybody at the end because she's just so damn good.
The only two people that will put her up right now are Alex and Jason. Alejandro and Jason.
Yeah, exactly. One of
Right.
them might be going home. You know
One
what I
of
mean?
them might
Or
be going
Jason
home.
gets pissed and all of a sudden Jason's after other people. You know, like this
Jason-
whole, the dynamics could change so
You
much.
never know who Jason's gonna nominate. He
Yeah.
does. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about Risa other than because he just said everything I was thinking. Like she's doing great. I think.
Yeah.
She is
I'm
really
impressed.
good.
I am so impressed by her.
The
so
level
far.
is not as big anymore. Like I mean, she's good. She's playing a Destiny game right now. The
Yeah.
only thing is, Destiny is in a little bit higher, better position because she's not Risa.
Yeah. No enemies either.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Lene. How would you rank Destiny, Aaron, and Rissa?
Oh, I think Destiny, Rissa, and then Aaron for sure.
Cesar,
I would agree.
Style.
I had Aaron down there, but I would have Destiny a slight notch. Like Destiny is a 7.3 and Riss is a 6.9. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I feel like they're playing the same game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very, very similar. It's just a slightly better position for
But
Destiny.
Risa, but at the end of the day, if they both make it to the end, Risa
Rissa.
beats Destiny.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm
Because
saying. I
of
think
the
Risser
journey.
has maybe more win equity because she's just so damn
Because of the
good.
journey. Because of the journey.
Yeah, exactly. The adversity really is going to be a huge help, I think.
So in fifth place
Ooh.
at 6.66, we have Katie, our current HOH. So Styles, take us away on Katie.
I think she has really interesting ideas in the game, and that's what gives me faith on her as a player. She is thinking things through, and I believe, in my opinion, from what the energy that I'm feeling, is that she thinks things through logically. She's not necessarily processing something, feeling a certain way, and reacting on it. I think her nominations this week are going to set forth a lot of things that take place in this game. I think she could easily get out of this HOH and her not still not be a target. You know what I mean? Because things are going to blow up and people are going to get exposed. And she's so dang likable. She's so easy to talk to. Seems so nice. She has this like innocent, like, oh, what was me? Like she she reminds me of like Satnik a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, just like the general energy I feel when I'm interacting with her in the diary room. And she really, I think, understands the game at a pretty high level and is just not a threat. And she's gonna make a huge play this week. She's not as high as some other people. I don't think she's the 5th best player in this cast right now, but I do think she's in the upper half. I think she does have some people that are looking her way, but she does have some very close allies as well, important allies. So I think that will carry her pretty far.
Katie. So Katie, I gave her a 7, so this is good. But my thing about Katie is she doesn't have the agency. She is someone that they will nominate her as an easy nom. Okay, she's not the Emily, where Emily has daily backing her.
Yeah.
Katie does not have a person that's gonna stick their neck out for them. He said, "Wait, Katie? Sorry, her, right?"
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect anybody. Katie doesn't have that right there. Everybody likes her, but she's also very expensive.
Yeah.
To people. So that's what worries me about her. But if she makes this move against these people or whatever, she could get on that side, the big side, side. So she'll be golden.
Yeah, and they feel like they can use her 100%. And also Mason really trusts her, which I think is a really important.
Mason really trusts her, but Mason's selling her out to Joanna all the time. So that's the problem. Like there's
but I think eventually like if they would take a shot at Daly before Katie kind of situation. You know what I mean? When you're looking at that.
Oh yeah.
Like Mason would. Mason and Joanna, I feel like, would cut Daly before they cut Katie when it comes down to it.
Lene, final thoughts on Katie?
Ditto. I think that she's not reactive. When people tell her things, she kind of takes it, processes it, goes to her DR with it, and then that's it. Like she's not running to people. She's not immediately telling 14 different people 13 different things. Like she very much takes it, but she's also giving information too, but she's very calculated with what she's giving. So people don't sit there and think like, oh, she's not giving me squat. She's just taking. So I think she's in a pretty decent spot right now.
Yeah. And just her likability, I feel like that's going to carry her far.
And
she delivers things very
so
positively.
well. Yes.
I love her. I love what her DR, like she talks, like I love her. I hope she makes it really far.
Yeah.
Same.
There's a few sharks that she trusts, and that could be her downfall.
There's a few sharks that she trusts, and she doesn't have the agency. Right now, nobody has her back. Like other people.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna use the shit out of her this week.
Yeah, which could be good for her.
But it could be good for her if she decides to go that way, because then they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's a number for us. Let's go."
Yeah, and we can control her nominations. Bet she can stay around.
Yep. So I think she should let them use her.
Yeah.
So now we have a three-way tie for second.
Oh
We
my
have three people
god.
with a
Uh.
7 flat score. First up is Emily. So Cesar, tell us about Emily.
I love Emily. Okay, love Emily. I think for a new person, she's playing amazing. Her social game is impeccable. Nobody,
Yep.
well, yesterday they started talking about her, but before yesterday, nobody was talking about her. She almost won. She actually killed herself because she didn't read the rules and she messaged Jason. So we had to disqualify her, but she
Yeah.
could have won easily. Um, she's doing great. My concern for Emily is this is her first org,
Hmm.
and my concern for her is Daily. Yes, Daily has her as her number one. Daily, yes, but Daly's also gonna want the moves that he wants, and she's gonna do whatever Daily wants. And that's why she's not keeping the people that have her back. She's not keeping them if Daily wants them out.
Yeah.
He does
She-
not know yet how to, level that part or how to play that part.
Yeah.
Where
Mhm.
no, I can have my own thing. I still trust you. You're my number one, but I'm still gonna keep these people. I mean, they may come after you, but they're not coming after me. She does not have that in her head just yet. She did say in her DR, I know that if I want to win, Daily needs to go. So I just
Big.
don't know if I'm gonna be loyal or if I'm gonna take a shot.
Yeah. Do we believe that 100% yet? We need to see some action. before we
Right,
can believe that
right,
100%.
right. And like I said, she has mentioned the whole thing about Joanna. I do think she has agency with Daily too, though. I do think if she wants Joanna bad, she could get into Daily's here if she tries.
Yeah. And Daly's is a very paranoid player, so
Yes.
any right seed and it could go her way 100%.
If she tried, but that's the only reason why. I mean, no, I give her a pretty damn high score. Not the highest, but yeah, I think she's playing a phenomenal game. I just hope and wish she doesn't let people use it. That's it. That was a lot.
Hey, thoughts?
I agree. I think for it being her first game, I think she's doing really, really well. I think that she's not being super outspoken. I think when she does have concerns or she does get information, she does take it back to Daily because I really think that he's like the number one person she probably trusts the most.
For sure.
And I don't really see Daily like taking anything that she's saying and spilling it to everybody else either. So I think it's really good for them now. I think that he's not going to be good for her later because, but also it's like she's so new that is there going to be an opportunity for her to win a comp? And does she take Daily out or does she wait on somebody else to do it and pounces then? So I think she'll have some decisions to make.
She will
shortly.
have something, and she's a lot to be in the jury. She's not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, no.
But
Cake was so
What are we doing
concerned
jury?
about her
What
going
number is
first.
jury going to be?
Like
What number is jury going to
32.
be?
I think it's final 11.
I think 11.
11.
Okay. So we have a
But
way to go still, but
Yeah, we
but
still have like 74 more people.
and I'm gonna let I didn't bring something up because I feel like Styles is gonna bring it up. People have been talking about her lately.
Mhm.
So and that's because Marcus and Mason have talked about her. Jensen is not done.
Mhm.
He knows that Emily or whatever. So we'll see what happens, okay? But I mean, I feel like we'll see what happens. I don't know. I hope she goes far.
Styles.
I think she's gonna go far. I think that she's obviously amazing socially. She's so likable. Everyone loves to talk to her. Problem is, what Cesar just said, people recognize that. And I think one of the biggest issues that she might run into this week is that she has been talking about how Jason is one of her top allies. And Jason might be going home. And that's a lot of agency to be leaving because that's an entire side of the house that she has agency with potentially. And yeah, Marcus and Mason, who are two very, very insulated players, are like, hey, Emily is a problem and a big threat in the game and is so likable. I don't think they're going to go for it, but I think once it comes down to it, if that alliance is still around and still intact and it's going to be Emily getting sniped. I feel like, and I'm worried about her win equity, her threat level. I'm worried about a lot of things with her. Although I do think that she's a great player. Another point, it is her first game, so how does she navigate the jury phase if she gets there? You know what I mean? That's very, very important.
Right, and another thing, because you said it earlier earlier, you're saying, yeah, when we were talking about Alejandro, whatever, well, yeah, but he's got, Emily's vote or whatever. No, he doesn't, because in fact, I even talked to in the DR, at least this a few days ago or whatever. She will do whatever pretty much Daily says right now,
Yeah.
and that's my concern. She will that's what I was just saying. She doesn't know how to level that part yet. Where I think she will let those people go. Where Alejandro leaving, Jason leaving, whatever, will suck for her. Because Alejandro has her as number one.
Yep.
Well, Jason is up there too. So, and she's thinking about, oh, I may have to take them out because they're not good for my alliance. Girl, this is not about your alliance, it's about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does not know how to differentiate that part.
The longer they're around, she is fucking golden. But once they go, it's like now she's relying on her alliance, which she's probably better positioned with Jason and Alejandro than she is in her alliance.
Derek looks like he's about to fall asleep.
I know, yeah. I've been looking at Derek.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
Three more
You're
people.
doing good. We're getting there.
We have three more. Okay,
Yeah.
next up at the 7, we have Marcus.
What
So
happened?
Styles, you start.
I think the biggest thing that I can, equate to Marcus is just the experience factor. I think that he is not perceived as a threat. He's perceived as a super nice guy. That's just his public perception. But I do think that he processes the game very well. I do think that he's processing the game very well currently. I think that he's getting close to a lot of people in these last, really over the weekend, to the last, few days as well. A lot of people have really been like, all right, Marcus is rising in my trust. Daly, Mason, all these people have said, hey, I really, really trust Marcus. Brandon really, really trusts Marcus. And he's in the middle. He has a lot of information potentially that could benefit Marcus. I think that overall, he's just well trusted, well insulated. He is a loyal player, and that is a little bit of a danger because
It's a concern big time.
people can go behind his back, I feel, very easily, and he not really realize it. But I do think that he is looking at the game a little bit more objective than what I have learned to know him as this time around. I think he's looking at things very, very rationally and seeing things for how they are. I think he mentioned just Daly being a social threat or whatever at some point. Nothing crazy. Like, he's not like, Daly's a huge problem. But he mentioned like a little thing. I remember in one of his videos.
He mentioned it, but then I try getting more info out of him, like to see if he'll say, yeah, I'm gonna go after Daly. No, he just knows Daly's a social threat, but as long as it's with me, we're good.
Yeah. See, that's where the problem is.
And with Mason, he's like, Mason's lying to him. He's just too. I like him. I'm worried about him.
Yeah,
I'm worried about him because he's trusting the wrong people. They're not selling him out, no, but he's not at the top of their
long term. Yeah, he could have run into some huge problems.
Like Mason's, like he said in his DR, I feel bad lying to him. Well,
Mason's a huge problem for a lot of people. He hasn't really been brought up on this podcast, but he's
coming.
He is.
He's about to be.
He's about to be.
I think that Mason's actually probably one of the biggest. And no disrespect, Mason. I actually say it in a complimentary way because I love that kind of gameplay, but I could just tell that Mason is going to be one of the biggest snakes on the cast this season.
I love the villain edit that I see for Mason.
Yeah, it's happening. The road is clear. He's going 100 miles an hour. Actually, I wouldn't say 100, maybe like 60 miles an hour, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be a breakout. At some point, he's going to break out, and it's going to be fucking amazing to watch.
I think if Daly does not do something about that duo like soon, he's gonna get fucked because Joanna is good with Jensen too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
So, wait, who are we talking about right now?
Marcus.
Oh,
We'll talk about Mason. Yeah, we're just talking about that's like his blind spot is like Marcus and Daly. Like, at least he recognizes that Daly's a social threat. I don't think he really recognizes anything on Mason. I think he trusts Mason a lot.
Ooh.
Marcus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's my biggest concern. I think he could. I do think he's one of the top people. I think his social game is great, really likable, playing a good game. His win equity concerns me at times, but I also think that he's somebody that if he gets to the end, people like him so much they'll give him the money. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Cesar, more thoughts on Marcus?
No. I think he's doing it. Everything he just said, and then what I added. I think he just needs to maybe not do everything they want him to do.
Yeah.
But go do your own thing because they're not looking out for your best interest.
Yeah. I feel like that's often his downfall. His closest people always fuck him over all the time.
Lene, thoughts on Marcus?
I agree. I think that he needs to take, we'll say, under advisement what they're saying, but then he needs to do what's best for him and not what they want him to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's always been that way. So that's the problem. He might just be more loyal.
He's
than
kind of
some-
like a yes man, like for a while until he can't anymore. And then I think by that point, though, it's too late for him to kind of make his own decision because he's already established himself as I'll do whatever you want. And then they see it as him going against them. So I think he needs to kind of make a path for himself sooner rather than later. He's going to fuck himself in the end.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So we already started talking about him, but next is Mason, also a 7 out of 10. So Lene, why don't you start off on Mason?
Mason is being very social right now. I think that, I mean, obviously Mason and Joanna are very close. Anything that you tell either of them is going to go back to the other one. So honestly, you might as well just have an alliance chat with them. And that's kind of what everybody has done. Like they're
They're
half
everywhere.
the alliance chats, they're together. I don't think that they're in anything that's not together. And I think that soon is going to come to a head because they're going to see that they're always together and people are going to start talking. And I think they need to distance themselves away from each other a little bit, but instead they're like, who are you good with? Mason. Who are you good with? Joanna. And everybody's like, okay, cool. And they just jump on that train.
I think Mason is banking. He won't say it and he doesn't have to say it. But if I'm him, I would be banking on, okay, fuck it. Put me with Joanna. It don't matter. Joanna's gonna go before me.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
1000%.
I
yeah.
don't care. And in the meantime, I'm cool with everybody. Let's talk. Let's be cool. Let's whatever. And then
Yep.
vote differently. Do whatever the fuck I want to do. And it's working out.
Mm-hmm.
It's working out perfectly. And unless, in my mind, because even like some people want Joanna out, but they don't even mention Mason right now. They want Joanna and they're not even, I'm like, why are you not, like, if you're going to take a shot at Joanna, you got to put her next to Mason. But they're not even seeing this. Daly's seeing it, but Daly's keeping that in his back pocket right now.
Yeah.
But it needs to like come out soon because I'm telling you, not gonna be good for him. It's not gonna be good for him.
Yeah. I think Mason actually I think he's more like the most likely player to win the game right now. And I think it's because he is in that duo with Joanna. Everyone's always like, that's where Mason's at. That's where Mason is. Mason's not anywhere else. It's Joanna. And when the time comes and when they take the shot at Mason and Joanna's going to go home.
Yep.
Mason has such great connections, I feel like, with pretty much everybody. It's nothing too serious that he could be exposed or be, outed as a huge threat. So once that happens, once that shot takes place and Joanna maybe goes home, everyone's, it's Mason's mine now. Now I could be the new Joanna.
Yep.
Everyone's going to do that. You know what I mean? And he's going to be set because he is willing to, it seems like he's willing to do more than some of the other people to win, like lie and like, I think he understands the game very well. I think he's really, really dangerous. I think he's Daly. I know Jensen is up there, but Mason, I think, is Daly's.
No, Mason's killing it. Mason's killing it. The social
Yes.
is doing good too.
Hell
I
yes.
like him as well. I mean, yeah.
So how would you guys rank Emily, Marcus, and Mason?
I think me, Mason, Emily, Marcus.
I think Mason, Marcus, Emily. Only because a couple people are talking about Emily
Yep.
right now.
I agree.
Okay. So that leaves our number one currently at 8.33. We have Daly. So
Who gave Daly a 9?
Yeah, fucking Styles. Why are we giving people? It's only 6. It's only week. Whatever.
You gave him a 9, Styles?
Because why not? Why not give him a 9? He's ran the whole show so far. Like he is like the most likely person to run the game to the end. He just had an HOH where he won. Everyone picked him to be the HOH. Basically, is how that comp went. No one gave a shit. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple people have mentioned
Not
something.
one person, dude. Not one person is like, "Yo, are you guys even playing?" Like I said it to someone or put it somewhere. I'm like, I'm so disappointed in this cast. How the fuck are you not? Had it been me, winning the social comp,
Yeah,
I
oh,
would
you would have been
down
done, bud.
immediately.
You would have been gone this week.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Nobody has been. The only person that mentioned anything about it was Kat, and then she was out.
Yep, Cat's out. Cody did mention a little something that, Daly's playing scared and Daly's
Nobody's
playing
gonna
both
do-
sides.
nobody's
But that
gonna do
doesn't matter.
that.
If Daly playing both sides and Daly being the biggest threat are two totally
Then-
different things.
Right, exactly. And then even Sadie, who is Mason's mom, said, "Oh, I guess everybody's good with Daly or whatever." And guess what? Mason just read through it and didn't even say anything about it. I'm
Yep,
like,
yep.
what
Yeah.
is? And by the way, when I said Daly's making this season boring, it's not because I'm not Team Daly. I am Team Daly. All right,
Yeah.
making it boring because everybody trusts him. So guess what? No big moves are gonna ever happen because they're all coming to Daly, and then Daly, he's like the Derek. He's killing it.
He is. He's really good. Everyone's
Daly's
like, oh
the
man, I
fun
trust
for
Daly
me.
so much.
He's
Daly's my number
playing
one.
So good. So
Yeah.
good. I cannot believe nobody's talking about
He has
him.
like 11 number ones right now. It's crazy. But that's the thing, is like he's just like, all it takes is like one little thing, and just the whole house of cards crumbles down. And we said, like, hey, this HOH is gonna be potentially the end or the beginning of the end. I mean, the end's still not going to be for a long time, I don't think. But the beginning of the end, the beginning of the downfall of Daly, but not really, because
Emily,
nothing happened. You know
I'm
what I mean?
sorry. Emily did mention it. Emily did mention it as well. Well, obviously, everybody likes him going by that.
Yeah, and he's been picked in player's choice like every fucking time too.
The problem is Emily is with him 100%, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if Emily sees
Yeah,
him.
Emily's not going to
Not
turn
gonna
on him
go
until like the final fucking 3 or 4, and Daly
Right.
can win comps too. So
So please, Daly, they should get his ass out right now.
yeah,
Okay, they should. Same thing with Jensen. They should get them out. I mean, I personally wouldn't want Daly out because I feel like Daly will be with me. But all these people that he's not with, get him out.
yeah, but they all think he's with them. That's the problem.
Right. And that's why I probably wouldn't get him out because I would think he would, but who knows? He probably get me out.
I do
Like,
agree that
know.
Jensen staying around is an issue because he is very, very skilled, and I do think that Mason is a big problem just because I think Mason is like almost playing an undermining style of game without even realizing it, and eventually could take Daly's spot as like the most trusted person. Once Daly starts to get exposed a little bit, I think Mason takes that step up. You know what I mean?
Jensen and Mason, if they team up,
Shoot, watch out.
Daly's in trouble.
Yeah.
Daly's in trouble. Again, I don't know. Would you want Daly out? Lynette? Well, not Lynette wouldn't want him out because obviously he'll be with her for sure. But actually, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd want him out because there's just too much agency, too much. Like the game can't really, the way he's playing right now, like the game is just set a certain way. No one can really maneuver without him knowing about it. You know what I mean? He's just playing so masterfully. But the issue is does get a little paranoid. I think he knows that he's really killing it too. And so he might play a little bit overactive or try to make some, like, exposing Brandon. Let's see how that goes. You know what I mean? He's going to expose Brandon to everybody.
It'll go just fine because right now his word is gold to
That-
everybody.
That exactly.
Alright.
But the more that you throw people under the bus, the more you make enemies. Like if Brandon finds out about it, now all of a sudden Brandon might be just, all it takes is just a couple birdies chirping, and then some
The
people
thing,
start
but
taking-
that's the thing that he's playing it so beautifully. Where, like me, for example, okay, like I've played with Daly before, all right. He didn't really do me wrong. I did vote him out, but that's because later on, it was how a hot mess happened there. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Working. We were in different teams, different whatever from the get go. So I tried as much as I could, and then he was next to someone that I wasn't going to vote out. So regardless of the situation, what happens is, when it comes to Daly in this game, nobody's willing to talk about Daly to compare notes.
Yeah, they're barely even willing to talk about it in the confessional.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's why.
What does that say? What's that? Put that back up.
It's backwards. It says hi, Lene.
Oh.
Yeah, Lene's on that.
Go ahead,
That's
Lene.
Lene says.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Lene. She has.
I mean, I love Daly. Daly, I love you so much. I think, I don't know, he's kind of just slaying. Everybody's just,
Yeah.
Slaying.
Yeah.
Like they're like.
it's like every HOH is Daly's HOH. And honestly, I'm kind of digging watching him kind of maneuver. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. He is the VC master of this game, and I don't think that there's a single person out here that is VCing more than that kid. Like, he literally hops from one. He's like, "Well, I gotta go get lunch," and then he's on 3 more.
Right?
hours.
Yeah.
And then-
He's
Following
working.
up with
Yeah, he's
them.
putting the sauce on for sure.
No,
Today, I don't
love
remember.
it.
How is he not a 9 for you guys? I don't understand that.
I put him at an 8 because I feel
Me
like
too.
How?
this is week 2.
It's
Like,
week
it's not a
2.
9 and
What
a
do you mean it's
10.
week 2? It's like week 7.
No,
Like
no, no.
cycle
Week
7.
37.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, this
8?
game's been going on for a good
Eight-
amount, man. We're about like a
8 is
third of the way
highest right
through.
now. I'm looking at 8 is the highest anybody can get this, like 8.
Yeah,
Jeez,
maybe
dude,
next
he's close to a
cycle.
10 for me. He's like in the higher 9. He could be
But-
a 10. Like next time we
but-
come on, he could easily be a 10.
But let
Are
me
you
tell
high?
okay? I
No,
do
I'm
think-
not.
I do think daily, there's only one thing that I think is done wrong, which is he should have gotten rid of Jensen
Mhm.
yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Would Jensen have gone though?
I actually
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so. But even just trying
know.
to get rid of him would have been at least something. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if he really wanted to make it happen, he probably could. It's Daily. You know what I mean? Just think about what position he's in. How much
I feel
games
like
he
Daly
needs.
could just go to the house chat and be like, "Please vote out Jensen," and everybody would be like, "Okay, we'll do
Okay,
it."
let's do it. Let's do it. Like, come
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
I don't want David to win any more HOHs.
Yeah, that's not good for him at all.
It's not good for
He's
his
winning.
name. Let him, luckily he had 3 people he could, but like he said, he's in an alliance with everybody in the house.
Yeah.
He said
So-
he didn't throw that veto, and I call bullshit. You didn't.
didn't
win
throw it. I was
3
with him.
freaking puzzles.
I was watching him. He didn't throw it.
Yeah, but you don't think that he was like sitting there and you couldn't see his face, and he's just like,
Oh,
can't
man.
find the word.
I don't think he threw the word the puzzle. No,
But how does he win 3 other ones and can't finish a word search?
the word search. Well, I mean, you have to remember, he won the other one because Venus's internet didn't work.
But didn't he win 3?
They were all the puzzles that Venus would have won.
Hmm. Interesting.
I just
So-
think he might be peaking early. I think that's the big
Nope.
downside with him is that we're at the final 18 and he is like running the game from day one. It's early to be everyone's number 1, man. And like the more time, like what he needs is like a quintuple eviction every day so he can just get this game going.
He don't need to be winning anymore. Chill,
Yeah.
relax. But he don't know how to chill or relax.
Yeah.
But he just not winning, and then he's doing great. He's doing great.
That's the issue is he's doing really good, but I think just like it's a very, very fragile house of cards in my opinion. Especially when you're playing this hard, this good at the very start of the game. It's not always
I
the
will
best.
say something. When I remember when Brandon played season 3, I kept saying this shit about him. Like I was so bored. He's gonna get caught at some point. He never got caught. He won the game.
And he won
Yeah,
again.
that's what I'm saying. Is that there's a world where that happens, and he just plays one of the most dominant games we've ever seen. You know what I mean?
But to be fair, Ryan did catch him, but then Ryan left because
Ryan
Brandon-
got going. Yeah,
Because he got got.
yeah, exactly,
No,
absolutely.
he didn't. But yeah, I think it's possible. He could don't count him out. You don't know.
Back to
Yeah.
you, Derek.
Yeah, back to you, Derek. We're
Back to
done.
me. So now that we talked for like 2 hours about
Yes.
this, I think that's a good place to stop. We will do
It
another
is.
episode soon with all about like the people who went home early.
Yeah, robbed.
Their games.
So many robbed people. This cast is so good.
Yeah. So
Okay.
There's a couple people that maybe weren't robbed, but there's a lot of people that were robbed.
CJ got robbed.
are we sticking to Wednesdays?
Yeah, sure, that works.
Okay, then it'll be different for like the people listening, but like I'll see you guys next Wednesday for
Yeah.
the Northern Lights Rewind.
Yeah, it won't be 2 hours too.
No.
Just think about how much we had to catch up on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay.
Miss
Well,
Slack.
thank you guys for being here and so long.
Adios, muchachos.